naturopathic doctor and acupuncturist. Graduated from NCNM and OCOM in 94 and 95. And I've been back in Honolulu since 1995. I'm currently in solo practice, private practice, and see mostly patients with allergies, food sensitivities, and I also do a lot of pain, different types of treatment for pain.
What was most frustrating for you before you first did the Consistent Patients Makeover mentorship with us and then continued on in our Introverted Visionaries mastermind? So what was most frustrating for you before the Consistent Patients Makeover mentorship?
The most frustrating thing was not having a consistent new patient flow. I would get referrals here and there. So that's why I decided to join the Consistent Patient Makeover mentorship. And that was super, super, super helpful.
When you weren't having consistent flow of patients, how did you feel?
Anxious and freaked out. Because I figured, well, I've been in practice for so long, I should have a consistent patient, new patient flow, but that wasn't the case.
What was a turning point moment for you that made you feel like, okay, I need to do something?
I think seeing how the practice slowed down significantly and not having new patients and current patients not showing up, even though I pivoted to doing some telemed, I figured I had to do something else, maybe set up like a virtual kind of practice as well, or having some other online programs that would give me another stream of income.
And when you were deciding to be a part of the Consistent Patients Makeover mentorship for introverts, any hesitation?
No.
And what has changed for you?
Oh, I'm getting more consistent in new patients calling and people that I don't know, people who Google other doctors or other practitioners. I get calls from those kind of people. Before, I would get referrals mostly from clients, which is great. Most of my practice, 90-something% is referrals from patients.
Yeah, tell us about what you had, because you had posted on Facebook about what happened. So would you like to share what you posted there?
Oh, so since I started the mastermind program, when was it? In December? I think March was my busiest month ever in my 20-something years in practice. So
awesome.
I'm super excited about that. And not only just the busiest month, it was like a significant jump from the previous highest month. So that was exciting.
Congratulations. That's huge. Really, really amazing.
Yeah, thank you. So it gave me a sense of like the possibilities that are out there.
And when you had done the Consistent Patients, because you did the Consistent Patients Makeover mentorship first, how did it help your practice?
You know what? It really saved me a lot of time because I've worked with other coaches before and stuff. And what the main distinguishing thing was, you had templates and stuff, for how to handle phone calls and things like that. There's like systems in place, how to talk to clients so that, they book appointments and stuff. That was really helpful.
Awesome.
I don't really want to reinvent the wheel.
And what would you say, how has it been different from other business trainings you've been a part of in the past?
Well, the other business trainings would give me systems, but I never ever get to implement, like, what do you call it? Ear candy, right? You go to the seminar, you get super excited. And then when you come back, you hit the ground running with your own practice and, you forget everything. It's just, oh yeah. We'll get to it at some point, but we don't ever get to it. Right. Or I had somebody tell me this, oh yeah, just start writing, just do this, just do that. But then I was like, how? What am I going to write about? And things like that. So there wasn't really much in terms of maybe instruction or direction. Just say, oh, just do it. Yeah, but how? Yeah.
Yeah, because the details matter, right? Like the specific
details definitely matter.
Yeah. What kind of services do you offer and what do you charge?
Currently, office visits. And then in the office visits, I include the acupuncture and stuff. So, and then I do a lot of prolotherapy, platelets. Not a lot of platelets, but here and there. So my initial visit is $295 right now, and return visits are $130. So, and I'm thinking of increasing my fees soon.
And are you primarily cash-based practice, insurance-based? Like what?
Yes, 90. I would say over 90% cash-based.
And when you had done the Consistent Patients Makeover Mentorship, what made you decide to, after that, continuing on into our Introverted Visionaries Mastermind?
I knew I needed more help. And I knew I wanted to have develop some sort of a online program so that it can run on autopilot, if you want to call it that, so that, I love to travel. I love to take vacations, but then my cash flow always suffers when I do that. And anyway, so I wanted to develop a program, and I've heard what wonderful things about your mastermind program. So I need somebody to hold my hand.
Awesome. And what's changed for you that you're excited about?
All kinds of things. I don't know anything in particular. The practice is getting more consistent, so it's kind of like taken some of the worrying off my shoulders about where I'm going to get new patients from and stuff, and knowing how to communicate with patients better as to their treatment plan and all that through using like the visual framework.
And what has it been like for you? Like, what's been your favorite part of the mastermind experience?
Oh, I like the meetings that we have, the Zoom calls that we have, and being able to connect with other mastermind members who are going through the same thing. I guess a lot of us go through the same thing, but we just don't know anybody else who's out there. So it's really helpful to get other people's ideas, getting feedback from other people, like-minded people. Super helpful.
And what's it been like for you as an introvert?
It's much easier to do these things. I don't have to go public speaking.
Yes, it's not your thing, right?
No, not my thing.
In looking back, what's your advice that you would have for like people who are newer? Because you've been in practice for a long time, right? So what's your advice overall, like in different stages of practice, like whether it's earlier starting out or later having been in practice, like what's a piece of advice or pearl that you could share?
Well, I think that, no matter what stage in your practice, I think it's important to, we don't get any business training, or we get very little business training. I think if you can get into the program earlier on, I think it's better, even though people always think, oh, it's a money issue, it's so much money, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I think it's a really good investment because you can actually help to, one of the things that I want to do is to be able to build a legacy and, leave it. I think one of the things that came to mind was my former associate retired, and I know I have other friends who've retired too, and basically they just kind of walked away from their practice, or they just handed it over to a younger person, and that was it.
Yeah.
It's sad to me.
Mm-hmm. It's like so much that you built over the years, and being able to pass that along to future generations is huge.
Right.
What's your big vision that you're excited about?
To be able to maybe have another practitioner, maybe work for me and stuff, so that I can, right now I work 4 days, maybe I work 3 days. I don't know. I still enjoy seeing patients and stuff, so it would be nice to have somebody cover for me when I'm on vacation or playing, doing something else.
Yeah, so tell everyone what you like to do.
Oh, I love to surf and dive. So I go surfing like 3 times a week. Surfing or diving. Just getting in the water 3 times a week, at least.
Yeah, you went to Mexico, right? Tell us a little bit about that this year.
Oh, yeah. I went to Socorro Islands, Mexico, for a scuba diving trip. That was like the most exciting scuba diving trip I've ever been on. Ever. I go on a big trip every year, except last year. Yeah, that was great.
What did you see that cool?
Oh man, I had an encounter with 2 humpback whales, like really close up, which was like the most exciting thing. The last 2 minutes of the trip, and I got to see all kinds of different sharks that I've not seen before. Manta rays coming up close and dolphins coming up close. It's pretty special.
That is really special. So cool.
Yeah. Super cool. Yeah.
And tell us a little bit more about your practice and what it stands for.
Oh, I like to help women, who I guess in their 50s or getting older and who want to remain active and stay fit. Because I hear a lot of people say, oh, you have that? Oh, I think it's age. I hate that. I mean, you don't have to suffer just because you're getting older. I mean, there's all kinds of things we can do preventively or, keep you well so that you can stay active, for the rest of your life.
Yes. And then choose to go scuba diving 3 days a week if you want to, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
If you knew then what you know now, what advice would you give?
If you're even considering signing up for Chan's program, go for it. Don't even think about the money or anything like that, because the money will come. It's like setting your intent. It's like setting your intent for the thing, and I think that's the thing. It keeps me focused, because every week we have stuff to do. It's kind of like homework like being in school.
And what would you say to someone who may be on the fence?
Jump in.
But what about the homework?
The homework, it's just part of it. It's like going to school. But at least it keeps me focused and it keeps me moving forward, Because before, I would okay, what should I do today? I guess I'll play, and then I'll go home and take a nap, and then I don't think I didn't place very much thought into the business before. I just think, oh, it's going to be on autopilot. But you know what? The truth is, it doesn't go on autopilot until you do something about it.
What's it been like to be a part of this mastermind with other introverted visionaries? What's that experience been like for you?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's great. I enjoy interacting with other people, getting ideas, seeing what they're up to and stuff, and enjoy seeing other people's successes as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Karen. It's super exciting, and you being busier and then having more people come to you without having to always be on, doing marketing all the time or speaking, because you're not into that.
No.
And, yeah. And so congratulations, and thanks for taking the time to be here with us today and sharing your inspiration.
Great. Thank you, Chen.
And for those of you who are in a place where you are at a plateau in your practice and you just feel like you're capable of so much more, and you would like to be at a place where things are in more ease and flow, and whether it's bringing a consistent flow of patients or being able to free up your time more so the practice runs more without you, then feel free to, but it's not happening, then feel free to reach out to introvertedvisionary.com and request a chat with us, and happy to give you insight into how we can help you